Previously, I have not been a fan of a DC movie, even though I am a big fan of a Marvel movie. And this was no exception. Welcome to another movie review. Welcome back, or if you are new here, welcome. My name is Katrina and I make bookish content here on this channel every week, and then movie reviews just like this one here at the weekend. In the description box below you'll find all of my social links, including my blog and my Goodreads if you are looking to keep up with my reading in between videos. All of my movie reviews are spoiler free, and I will leave a playlist of my recent reviews linked up above. So yes, I went to see Black Adam. Not going to lie, got mixed up, randomly thought it was a Marvel movie. Again, you can tell that I'm just part of the movie world, not part of the comic book world. And then I remember seeing in the trailers, so again, I should have remembered this, it's the end of term, don't come for me, that there was, links with Shazam, and I like The Rock. I like Dwayne Johnson. I've liked him since, he made his wrestling debut. And so I was kind of like, okay, well, I'm up for this. So I booked myself IMAX tickets because I thought, well, these big films always look better in IMAX. Oh my goodness, the cinema was so empty. And I kind of don't blame people for not going to see this one in the cinema. I really struggled to follow the plot in general. Now, this may be because I have not watched that many DC movies, and so I'm not kind of part of that storyline, but as far as I knew, this one wasn't kind of crucial to the plot. Like if you watched, say, like I did, Avengers Infinity War, not having seen any other Avengers movies, but I do feel like the plot was really quite contrived. So there are characters that pop up in this one, and I was a bit like, okay, so is this kind of just DC's version of Doctor Strange, and is this DC's version of Falcon, and is that where we're at here, or are these crucial characters to other storylines within the DC universe? I also struggled with then whether Black Adam was supposed to be pinned as this hero or whether he was supposed to be pinned as a villain. So the film itself does what quite a few other sort of superhero movies do, where it takes a community that's somewhere in the globe a little more obscure and shows a community that really does need a hero and kind of, brings them something to fight for and brings them something to live for. But there are other baddies at work here. And I did appreciate that side of the storyline. I also did enjoy The Rock in this movie. However, I do feel like he has more scope and he could have done more with this than perhaps he was given free rein to do. And so I think that the sort of editing and the direction was quite tight. And yet at other points in the film, it felt like it dragged. I did fall asleep. And there was points where it felt a little stilted, points where it felt like the pacing was just a little wrong. And there is a young boy in the film, in the sort of modern day, storyline of the film. And I felt like he could have had played a bigger part in the film too, because again, I thought that he was great and he was great on screen, but it just felt very stilted and it just felt quite random. And then you've got like Pierce Brosnan, and I didn't know that Pierce Brosnan was part of this DC universe, and I hope it's not a spoiler to say, it doesn't feel like it was a spoiler to say that Pierce Brosnan's in this and that he was playing what I felt like was a very Doctor Strange type of character. Maybe it is a spoiler, but I don't think it is. Again, I've seen multiple trailers for this one and I feel like you got the highlights in the trailer. So The Rock was great, but I felt like he could have done more. And then, you had these sort of younger boy in the film who again was quite crucial to some of the plot. Again, not trying to give any spoilers away, but he could have also done more. And their interactions were great, and their interactions were funny, and their interactions had kind of like throwbacks to other things as well. So in terms of the DC movies that I have actually watched and sat through, so famously I did walk out of Aquaman because I could not cope with the acting and the special effects. It just felt like watching actors with a cartoon which will come on to special effects in this film. And then I've watched both Wonder Woman movies, and then I watched Shazam. And Shazam I have rewatched, and I enjoyed rewatching Shazam. And so I thought, oh, you know, there's links with Shazam in this film, maybe I'll like it. But yeah, it felt a lot like Aquaman and Wonder Woman to me. And I think if I had not paid the extra money to see it in IMAX and had just watched it in a regular screen and therefore was just using part of my Odeon Limitless, I would have left because I really wasn't connecting with it. I didn't stay for any end credit scenes. If there had been any, I haven't even looked up if there were any that I missed, because I was like, okay, it's done now, I'm gonna go for lunch, and that's me. But yeah, special effects wise, again, it went along with those things that I disliked about Aquaman and about Wonder Woman, where it felt like that Who Framed Roger Rabbit style of an actor acting with an animation, an actor who has animation around them, like when you've got that little bit in Enchanted where the characters are both live action and animation. It's really bad that a brand as big as DC just can't get their CGI right, just can't get their special effects right, when, you know, Star Wars universe are doing it and Marvel universe are doing it, and I know those are both Disney, but you know, if Disney can do it, Warner Brothers can do it too. And it just felt really quite weird. And you know that bit in Star Wars, in one of the versions of Star Wars, where Han Solo steps over the tail of Jabba the Hutt, and you kind of see it and it just looks really weird and it looks like he's stepping on nothing. I wouldn't have been surprised if that had happened in this film and that had got through editing. Yeah, and then you've got basically a version of the devil in this film as well, which was really quite dark and scary and almost felt at odds with the other stuff that had been in this film surrounding kind of like ancient gods and heroes and relics and tombs, because you just randomly had this devil dropped in the middle with these horns. And yeah, it was quite weird and I found it quite difficult to follow. And then the group that had the Falcon guy and the Doctor Strange type guy, Pierce Brosnan, in it, I was never quite clear whether they were goodies or baddies, whether I was supposed to be supporting them or whether I was supposed to be against them, because I wasn't sure if The Rock was with them or Black Adam or against them, and I wasn't sure if the mother and son from the kind of modern world who we were trying to save were with them or against them either. And then there was a crown thing that got dug up out of the tomb, and I'm really not sure what happened. So this is very much a review from a non-DC fan reviewing a DC movie that it felt to me like not a lot of other people went to see either, given the fact that my whole side of the IMAX cinema, which is, you know, 4 seats going all the way up before you get the aisle for the first lot of seats in the middle, there was just me in it. Yeah, I'm thinking that not a lot of people were very into this film. So yeah, so should you pay your cinema going money to see this one? Absolutely not. If you are desperate to see this because it slots nicely into the DC universe somewhere, don't go and see it in IMAX. It's not worth it. The special effects are not that good. And I don't think you'll have trouble getting a ticket to go and see it in a sort of smaller format anyway. Would I recommend this movie? No, I definitely wouldn't. Does this kind of like warm me to the DC universe and make me feel like I should be seeing other things in the DC universe? Absolutely not. I did see the trailer for the new Shazam movie, and I will be going to watch that one because I did enjoy the first Shazam movie and I enjoyed the humour in it. It felt very Deadpool to me, and so I will be going to see that. However, aside from that, I'm not going to rush out and see any other DC movies. I'm sorry, but I'm not sorry. As always, if there is a particular movie you would like me to go and watch and bring you my thoughts on here next time we meet, do let me know in comments. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up. If not, give it a thumbs down, but tell me why. Could it be because I'm a non-DC fan reviewing a DC movie? Maybe. Make sure you are subscribed and hit that notification bell so you do bell so that you do not miss out on my future movie reviews next weekend or miss out on my bookish content when I post it in the week. And I will see you with my next video. Thanks for watching.